Hello, this video is for people who already know how to use WordPress and they want to know how to use the Genesis sample theme. So this is the Genesis sample theme on the StudioPress website, and the Genesis sample theme is designed to work with Genesis blocks plugin. They work together as a pair. You don't have to use the Genesis blocks, but I highly recommend that you do. So once you've installed both, the most important place is the customizer. Now most of this is just a standard WordPress customizer. In the site identity, you can actually choose the size or the width of the logo. Now I've set this to 150, and the reason is, if you watch the logo, when we use a mobile phone, the logo now sits at the side of the menu. That's actually a graphic logo. It looks like text. I just made a logo, a graphic logo with text in it. But the reason I've made it that size is so that the logo will sit at the side of the menu. Bearing in mind that is a graphic image, if I change the size, the menu now sits underneath the logo. So I'll change it back to 150. Now most of the customizer settings are completely standard WordPress settings. Colours, if you change the colour of the links, the colour of buttons will change, but you can override the button colour when you actually make the button block. So if you've chosen a colour when you made the button block, then that colour will stay fixed even if you change this option here. So I'll go back to the default. It changes the colour of these links as well when you change the link colour. Menus, standard menus. There's two menu locations. There's a header menu here, and right at the very bottom below the footer credits, you've got another menu down here below the footer credits. You can turn those on or off. Widget areas. Now in the customizer, the widget section is context sensitive. So I'm now viewing a blog post that's got a sidebar, and because it's a blog post, it's also got a widget area called after entry. Now you will only see those in the customizer. This is the after entry widget area. Now you only see those if you're actually viewing a page where those widgets display. So I prefer to use the old-fashioned way, which is going to your dashboard, appearance, widgets, and you've got the primary sidebar, footer 1, 2 and 3, and after entry. And this is the after entry widget area. You can put whatever you want in there. I've put a text widget and a button, but you can put anything you want in there. Go back to the customizer. Homepage settings, that's just your homepage and post page standard WordPress settings. Now theme settings, this is one of the most important tabs, or probably the most important tab. If you want to, you can set it so that WordPress will tell you when there's a new version of Genesis available. That's up to you. Site layout. Now the sample theme has got content sidebar, sidebar content and full width content. Got breadcrumbs. You can enable or disable breadcrumbs on all these different options. Posts, pages, your archive pages, things like that. I just turn breadcrumbs on single posts. Comments and trackbacks, similar thing. Turn comments and trackbacks on or off site-wide. You can also adjust those on a page-by-page or post-by-post basis, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, singular content and content archives are important. You can enable the featured image on posts and pages. And this entry meter. Entry meter is your categories here, and user and post date, things like that. Now there are a lot of shortcodes you can use. Click the link to see more shortcodes. And you can paste the shortcodes in the box, and you can have the metadata above or below the post, or above and below the post. It's up to you. But you do that with shortcodes. You can use plain text as well. Content Archives. The Content Archives tab controls your blog page listings and your category and tag page listings. You can change things like having the entry excerpt or the full content on the blog listing page, limit how many characters are displayed, show the featured image in the blog listing page, and set the size of the image, things like that. This numeric is if you've got a lot of blog posts and you get to the bottom of your blog listing page, there's more blog posts to see, you can choose which type of next buttons you want. There's numeric and a previous next. Well, they're more buttons than text. Now the footer is not actually the footer, it's the footer credits. And you can change that with shortcodes. You can put plain text in. This is the footer credits right at the bottom. And you change what appears in there by using shortcodes. If you want to know what all the shortcodes are, click the button. You can type in plain text as well. Now header and footer scripts are for your Google Analytics, things like that. And these are site-wide. Each page has got a similar option. So you can add scripts site-wide and you can add scripts on a page-by-page basis. Now, when you're making individual pages or posts, there's two tabs here. There's the Genesis tab and there's the WordPress settings. So click both. This is the Genesis settings. And you can hide the breadcrumbs, hide the post title, hide the featured image, and if you want to, you can hide the footer widgets on each individual page. So these settings affect the individual page that you're editing. You can also change here the layout. So suppose your site-wide layout was full width and this one you want to have a sidebar, you just choose that here, and that's in the Genesis tab. We've also got this WordPress tab, which is your WordPress settings, and that's where you've got the page settings and the block settings. Now in the page settings, because this is a page, you've got page attributes. Posts don't have page attributes, but because this is a page, it's got page attributes and it's got another option for the template, and the other option is landing. You can also disable comments on this individual page if you want to. And we're using Genesis Blocks plugin here. But using Genesis Blocks is just the same as using any other Gutenberg block. So if you want to change the text, triple click, change the text. If you want to change the image, select the image. This one's a background image, so I'll scroll down and I can change the background image. Now if you look at the post title at the top of the page there, you'll often want to hide that if you're making a hero header, and you do that with the Genesis tab and you click hide title. That will hide page titles. You can't hide blog post titles, but you can hide web page titles. Now if you scroll to the bottom of this page, we've got more settings. These are theme SEO settings, so this is just for this theme. Now, if you're using Yoast, Yoast will override these settings. If you're not using Yoast, you can put in a document title and a meta description and keywords here. I personally would recommend using Yoast, but it's up to you. Now, this is the individual page scripts. So you can add scripts to your page individually, one page at a time, using this section here. If we look at a blog post, these are ordinary blocks. This one's a Genesis blocks block. This is a block quote block. But here we've got biographical information, and you add that by adding your biographical information to your user profile. So users, edit profile, scroll down the page, you'll find this where you can add your biographical information. If you scroll a bit further, you've got this author box option, and you can enable or disable the author box on posts and archives. I'll just show you the breadcrumbs so you know where they are. The breadcrumbs appear here. I enable breadcrumbs on posts. You can, if you want to, enable them on pages. Now, the Genesis sample theme works hand in hand with Genesis Blocks plugin. Once you've installed Genesis Blocks, if you go to Genesis Blocks, Getting Started, and scroll down, there's this help and documentation. And this is really good. It's well documented, this plugin. So if you want to know how any of the individual blocks work, just click the button and then decide what you want to know about. Now, the advanced columns block is really useful. So just choose that one from the list, and there's all this information just about that one particular block. But it's well documented, really is well documented. I'll show you how Genesis Blocks works. I'm now editing a page. I'll click the edit button. And because we've installed Genesis Blocks, we've got this layouts option here. So click that. And we can now add individual page sections to our page or complete page layouts. If you want to add a complete page layout, click the Layouts tab. Choose a complete page that you like the look of, and you can just add it to your page. I'm going to build a page from sections, so I click the Sections tab, and I just look at the different sections, see which ones I want to use, and I can click any section to add it to my page. I'm going to start with this hero section. Now, if I click this Layouts button again, it will add another layout section below the one I've added. So I'll click it again. I can choose the next section. So I just scroll through, choose one that I like, and it adds it to the page. Click the Layouts tab again, and I can choose the next one. I'm going to choose this one. Then choose Layouts, choose the layout section I want to use. Now these have got background colours applied to them. Some of the sections have background colours applied, some don't. So what I'm going to do is just change the background colour so they suit me. I'm going to change this one to a white background colour. Make sure you're in the WordPress settings tab. And you're looking at the block settings, colour. I'm just going to make that background colour white. Click Update, and we'll view the page. All we need to do then is change the images and text. Now if you look at this, it's got the page title there, and I don't want to see the page title. So in the Genesis tab, hide title. Update. I'll just quickly show you how to edit everything. Text, you just triple click and then type in your own text. Buttons, you just click the button, you can add the link, type your text. Images, you can replace the image, it will open the media library. Some images like these, we've got the little cross icon. If you click the image, it will just immediately open the media library. All of these settings are just fairly standard WordPress block editor settings. If you're new to Genesis Blocks, I highly recommend that you learn how the advanced columns block works. It's a really useful block and you'll use it time and time again. There's another useful block, called the post and page grid block. And remember, the best way to learn how any of the blocks works, in your dashboard go to Genesis, Blocks, Getting Started. There's Genesis and Genesis Blocks. So go to Genesis Blocks, Getting Started, scroll down and click the Browse Documents tab. And here you can see all the information you need. I'll just close this sidebar so we've got a bit more space. If you click this button here, Add Block, and you scroll right to the very bottom, you'll see all of the Genesis blocks available. So you don't just have these layouts, you've got individual blocks, and you can build your own layouts using these blocks. The most useful blocks are the Advanced Columns block and the Post and Page Grid block. There's lots of others though, and this obviously the Layouts block. Well, I hope that's helped you get started. This is a really good, simple theme. And using Genesis blocks combined with the Genesis sample theme, you can build some really nice looking pages quickly and easily. Well, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.